All right, breaking news. The traitor has been found. President Trump was right. The source of the Trump reveal found. Obama's national security advisor, Susan Rice, is responsible. The left is currently engaged in an attack on the Fourth Amendment. Despite the fact that U.S. citizens have a right to privacy, it appears that liberals are willing to ignore this fact if it suits their political aims. Regardless, the truth about what they're doing usually comes to light, as is the case with several Democrats accused of playing a major role in the surveillance, wiretapping, and leaking of Trump's team. Just recently, more evidence has been presented showing liberal corruption. According to Bloomberg, Obama's national security advisor, Susan Rice, played a massive role in wiretapping President Trump and his team and then leaking the names of certain U.S. citizens and officials whose messages were intercepted by illegal means. She's accused of allegedly distributing this information, some of it deemed classified, to people and left-wing groups that did not have the proper security clearance. Last month, White House lawyers claimed to have found out that Rice repeatedly asked for the identities of specific U.S. people related to President Trump's campaign in raw intelligence reports. If true, her efforts would be the reason why the names of certain officials like Michael Flynn were known and ultimately leaked to the press, especially far-left news organizations like CNN. The National Security Council made this discovery during an investigation into the government's policy on unmasking the identities of U.S. citizens picked up during surveillance. The practice of masking and unmasking helps ensure that the privacy of U.S. citizens are protected. Masking refers to the redaction of personal information. This is something done every time a U.S. associate is discussed or picked up during surveillance. Unmasking refers to those with the appropriate clearance revealing the true identities of particular people involved in conversations that were intercepted by the CIA and NSA. Usually when a call or email is intercepted, the names of U.S. citizens are redacted and known only to very few people. In order to figure out the real identity, a formal request must be made within the law. According to anonymous sources, the National Security Council's Senior Director for Intelligence, Ezra Cohen Watnick, is the one responsible for discovering Rice's nefarious acts. He discovered the multiple requests from Rice to unmask reports relating to Trump's team in February. In order to be transparent, he went to the White House General Counsel's office, and after they looked at even more requests, they told him to end his own personal research into the unmasking policy, and they would take over from there. The information in question appears to show foreign officials discussing the Trump campaign between one another, as well as foreign officials talking to members of the Trump team about his campaign. According to the report, the documents contained important political information about the Trump transition. This information included details about who the Trump team was meeting, the views that Trump and his team had on foreign policy, and strategies for the incoming administration, all or most of which was leaked to the liberal press. Representative David Nunes, Republican of California, is also currently leading an investigation by both the House and Senate into possible ties between the president's team and Russia's interference during the election. He's also looking into the extent to which Trump and his staff underwent surveillance by the Obama administration. The investigation has failed to show any ties between Trump and Russia, while simultaneously proving that his campaign was indeed under Obama's administration's surveillance via wiretapping and other acts. In both cases, Trump was right. On Monday morning, CNN managed to obtain a statement. It read, "The idea that Ambassador Rice improperly sought the identities of Americans is false. There is nothing unusual about making these requests when serving as a senior national security official, whether Democrat or Republican." This is that which is completely ridiculous. It's as stated earlier, it's against the law, and they have to have a big reason to get that information because it's illegal. It's outside the laws of the United States. Back to the story. In the past, Rice has also denied having any knowledge about the government surveilling Trump. During the campaign and during an interview with PBS, she said nothing of the sort occurred, which it turned out was a bold-faced lie. Her denial on PBS came in response to a tweet sent out by President Trump accusing the Obama administration of wiretapping him. Rice is a known critic of Trump. In a recent Washington Post article, she said false statements from the White House are part of a disturbing pattern of behavior and does pose a potential threat. But what she failed to mention is the fact that Trump is usually 100% correct and the liberals are running scared. Rice is well known for having credibility issues. Most famously, she wrongly blamed the Benghazi attack on an offensive video spread around the internet. In an interview on ABC, she called the attack a reaction to this very offensive video that was disseminated. Since her statement, it has since been concluded that the attack was a premeditated and coordinated attack, and she told another bold-faced lie. Her actions have also caused a large amount of concern among those worried about civil rights. Her ability to unmask and deliberately leak the names of U.S. citizens and share that information with the liberal press and others, undoubtedly for personal and political gain, is an outright abuse of her position and the Obama-ran government at the time. What she did was morally, ethically, and criminally wrong, and she should be investigated immediately. President Trump must take steps to ensure that this invasion of privacy does not happen again, and Rice should be tried and convicted of the crimes she committed. Rice is not the only Democrat to have recently revealed that Obama administration was surveilling President Trump. Earlier this month, former Obama Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense for Russia and the Ukraine, Evelyn Farkas, unwittingly admitted that the Obama administration was spying on Trump and his team. During an interview with MSNBC's Mika Brzezinski, Evelyn said, "I was urging my former colleagues and frankly speaking, the people on the Hill, get as much information as you can," adding, "If Trump and his staffers found out how we knew what we knew about the Trump staff dealing with Russians, that they would try to compromise those. They would try to compromise those sources and methods, meaning we no longer have access to that intelligence." In other words, they didn't want them to know they were surveilling them, or they wouldn't say what they did or whatever, but they never got anything. They surveilled them, and they never got any information about Russians. It was all just a joke and a made-up, bold-faced lie again. She concluded the interview by saying, "We have good intelligence on Russia. That's why you have the leaking." People are worried. Right, yeah. All of this further confirms Trump's claims about being surveilled and wiretapped. So she admitted it right there. Political reforms are absolutely necessary. It's clear that many Democrats are guilty of unethical and illegal behavior, regardless of how much they protest. This type of behavior is unconstitutional and cannot continue. It violates the Fourth Amendment. President Trump should urge Congress to investigate the ways that liberals are using the system for their own benefit. Recently, conservative talk show host Rush Limbaugh boiled down the complex web of surveillance stories regarding the Trump team into one simple concept. The Obama administration declared a very secret war on President Donald Trump, using America's intelligence services as his weapon. Trump first alerted America to the surveillance issue when he tweeted on March 4th that he was wiretapped by former President Barack Obama. Trump's claims were initially met with denials. However, it was reported that Obama's former national security advisor, Susan Rice, played a heretofore unannounced role by unmasking the identities of Trump associates whose communications were indicated byproducts of the surveillance. But the real scandal here, and it's becoming increasingly clear, is that the Obama administration weaponized politically our intelligence services against the Republicans and against Trump. I, for one, am not surprised, he said. We know that the Obama regime surveilled Trump transition team. We know now that the Obama White House unmasked people who were not targets of legitimate surveillance and investigation. We now know that the Obama White House illegally leaked protected information, he said. The drive-by liberal media reported all of this. We know that there had to be unmasking. We know that there had to be leaking. The media proudly told us that the sources, who could not be identified, fed them data. We now know that Susan Rice was their source. Trump had been surveilled for a whole year. We now know that the Obama administration was responsible. We now know that it was Susan Rice who lied on 5 Sunday shows about Benghazi, and that she was the one that unmasked them all. And that's the end of the story. What do you think? Do you think that Rice should be investigated and tried for her crimes? Please comment below. Please subscribe. Please like this video. And as always, please share it. Thanks very much and have a great day.